Grand rising, grand arrival, grand return, peace and blessings to the righteous and the repentant alike. I am Chi Sophia of the Americana Band of Indians, and in this video we are going to discuss this chart that you see on the screen. This is going to go in our Daylight Astrology playlist. I do believe that this is an occurrence that happens yearly. Some people know it as the 8-8 portal. However, it is not occurring on 8-8 this year. I know that's what everyone is saying. And of course, we do some deep investigation here on this channel to figure out exactly what's happening. So I'll preface this by saying that I pretty much are first of all, the way that we calculate the time over here, we're still in the 8 year. Remember that the new year does not begin as far as lunar. The new lunar year does not begin until the day after the Pisces full moon. Now, the Pisces full moon, let me see. I have those documents, I think, somewhere. Hopefully I can put my hands on them. This is 2025. The Pisces new moon is on... Is that right? The Pisces new moon is not until September the 7th. So our lunar new year does not begin until September the 8th. This means that we are technically still in the 8 year all the way up until September the 8th, which is crazy. Then we go into a 9 year. So that's another 8-9 reversal. Okay. 9-8-9. Anyway. So as of right now, during the time of this particular day that we're looking at on the chart here, we will still be in 8 energy. Now, no one is reading the energy like this. I'm not just, they're just not. And so if no one's reading the energy like this and they're all looking at the 8-8 portal, which is not the 8-8 portal, what are we looking at here on the screen? The way we calculate days is very specific. We look at what time, 6 a.m., and what degree is on the clock at that time of 6 a.m. 6 a.m. is when we start our days. 6 a.m. is the average time of the sunrise. That's why we use 6 a.m. Basically, at 6 a.m., there's going to be some light in the sky, okay? Most of the year. So, that's what the daylight savings is about, by the way, because our bodies have to be attuned to that 6 a.m. time. So, at 6 a.m. on August the 10th, the sun will be at 18 degrees in 1 minute. At 6 a.m. on this picture right here, August the 11th, the sun will be at 18 degrees and 59 minutes. This gives us 18 days. Now, I do believe this happened last year, but I don't think I noticed it. I think I noticed that there was an issue, but I had made so many videos at once because of the retrograde that I missed it. I missed it. So I remember, and I should go back and look at my videos at the time, but I remember saying, wasn't this day, didn't we already do this degree? Like, it was very confusing. And so I think that this always happens in August. We always have a day where at 6 a.m. it's 1 degree, and at 6 a.m. is at some degree and some minutes, like 1 minute. And then the next day is at some degree and 59 minutes. I think that is the portal. What this is a reversal day. So right now we're in the mystic column, okay, on the Zolkin cycle. That particular day is, if I'm not mistaken, hold on, let me look at my other, if y'all can see my desk. Honestly, I don't even have space to do anything, but I want to make sure I get this right. I don't want to say it incorrectly. I think we'll be in at the mystic column, the 10 days of darkness. Yes, we will be in the 10 days of darkness. We will be in the 10 days of darkness during that period. It'll be right after the Aquarius full moon. and we'll be 4 days into the 10 days of darkness. Okay, because we already had the 10 days of light. That's the 10 days of galactic portal openings prior to the mystic column. Then we have the 20 days of the mystic column. Then we have 10 days of darkness, which darkness always comes after the light. We start with the light, we end with the darkness. So we have 10 days of darkness, and that's when this day happens. Now, we're going to talk about what's so special about this day, okay? Just looking at the astrology, and I'm not going to get into too much else. First of all, we clearly have a kite on this screen. We have a almost exact, literally, grand trine between Mars at 2 degrees and 46 minutes of Libra, Pluto at 2 degrees and 11 minutes of Aquarius in retrograde, and Sedna and Uranus both at 1 degree of Gemini. This is a perfect grand trine. Now, we also have a mini grand trine between Pluto at 2 degrees of Aquarius, Sedna and Uranus at 1 degree of Gemini, and Saturn and Neptune at 1 degree of Aries. This is a mini grand trine, 2 sextiles and a trine. Okay. We also by sign have what I would call a Star of David, because basically, if in order to have that, you have to have, in order for it to be perfect, you'd have to have two perfect triangles, right? But this is true by sign, not by necessarily degree. So we have well, not exactly, because we're missing something in Sagittarius. If something were in Sagittarius, this would be perfect by, basically perfect by degree. So we have a 5-pointed star, right, instead of a 6-pointed star. The 5 points are Saturn and Neptune at 1 degree of Aries, Uranus and Sedna at 1 degree of Gemini, skip one. Actually, we didn't skip one. We would have to start with, well, it's not perfect. It's too imperfect. But we do have a lot of energy that's also well connected. Let me talk about this conjunction that's almost exact between Venus and Jupiter. We have Venus at 13 degrees of Cancer and Jupiter at 13 degrees of Cancer. And this is in a side eye to Pallas Athena, which is at 14 degrees of Aquarius in retrograde. So while Pallas Athena is doing its investigation, it's also getting judged, because Pallas Athena is this, I would say it's almost like a wicked wisdom, or it's cleverness. Like, it's cleverly solving a problem and not necessarily doing it the right way. And Venus and Jupiter are here to investigate that and make sure that they do things on the up and up. I forgot the opposition. The kite actually has wings. It has a backbone. It has an opposition. The opposition is between Mars at 2 degrees of Libra and Saturn and Neptune at 1 degree of Aries. This is an exact opposition, basically. And so there's a lot of other energy going on in this chart, and I don't want to beleaguer it too much. But there's a few other things I need to point out. We have Cupido. Cupido is like our Jesus, right? He's in retrograde at 7 degrees 52 minutes. So 7-7. Oh, let me tell you where all the 8s are. I'm sorry, I forgot about that part. There are nothing but 8s on this screen. We have the ascendant at 7 degrees 19 minutes, which comes to an 8 of Leo. We have our MC Nadir point at 0 degrees 35 minutes of Scorpio, which comes to an 8. We have our descendant at 7 degrees and 19 minutes of Aquarius, which comes to an 8. We have our midheaven at 0 degrees 35 minutes of Taurus, which is also an 8. We have Cupido, which I was mentioning, at 7 degrees and 7 degrees 52 minutes, which is 7 and 7. We have a lot of 7 and 7s. Where's the other one? Okay, I'm not gonna get into all of it, but I think it's a lot. It's a lot. I didn't write it down because I didn't want to go into all of it. I knew I would just only talk about that. But the fact that we have 8888 at 6 a.m. on this particular very important galactic portal day, and the day is even 8 August 11, and then 2025, but it's really 2024 energy, which is an 8. So it's 8118. That is a total mirror. This is mirror day. And like I said, I do believe we get one of these mirror days every year. And it could be on 8/8 some days. But obviously this year it's on the 11th. It's a literal mirror. Like, you can't really not see it. And then with all of these pairs of energy, again, Venus and Jupiter paired up, Neptune and Saturn paired up, Uranus and Sedna paired up. This is really indicating to me that these energies are the masculine and the feminine doing a check-in, making sure, like making sure, because they're perfect. They're 1 degree, 1 degree, 13 degrees. I mean, they're exact, the ones that are exact. And these are not small planets. These are like almost all our visible planets. And even the one visible planet that's not included, which is Mars, is in an opposition to Saturn. So you would have to say that this is like some kind of a party. This is some kind of evaluation, or it's a party. Now, because the retrograde planets are Saturn and Neptune, they're close to the planet. They're the ones that are gathering the information. They're the ones that are working with us the most closely, as a result of them being in retrograde and therefore closer to the planet. So this is a really important day. Now, we'll be fasting. And again, what are we fasting for? We are fasting to remove the parasites, the parasitic equity. This is a silent boycott. We're not going out in the streets. We're not creating a fuss. We're not like getting involved with all of this stuff. I was going to say selling merch, but I do have a shirt that I'm going to have available. But the point is, we're not getting involved in all of that stuff. We're fighting this purely on a spiritual basis. And we're saying, stop parasitic equity. Squash it. We don't want parasitic equity involved in our business structure. So therefore it needs to go. So this is going to be an opportunity for us to get a real reflection of what our business structure, what our lives are supposed to look like, which we can't even see right now because there's so much confusion and there's so much interference by these parasites that we literally can't even get a good read on what our energy is and how it's supposed to look. It's very frustrating. So I just wanted to make this quick video to point this information out. This is our literal reflection day, our mirror day, where we can command the reflection, our reflection, match our desires, our actions, our activity, our work. We can command it. We can demand it. And that's how I plan to use the energy for this day. And I hope that you all will also plan to use your energy for something productive this day. So shalom, peace and blessings, and we'll see you in the next video.